Hola, bienvenidos. I am Professor Chris Davison, and I'm here to help you learn Spanish. This is one in a series of short videos that explain different concepts of Spanish grammar. The entire series of videos can be found on my website, vamostutoring.com, along with other useful information on class schedules and apps and other resources to help you on your journey to learn Spanish. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I can help you with class schedules, tutoring sessions, or all sorts of other useful information. Enjoy the video. Muy bien, hola. Here we're going to do a video lesson on telling time in Spanish. So both English and Spanish use the verb to be to tell time. And since we have two verbs in Spanish, ser and estar, we have to pick. So we're going to definitely use ser. It's one of the uses of ser is to tell time. So basically, if it's a single hour, meaning 1 o'clock, we're going to have a singular verb. So we will say es la una, or it is 1. Okay. If it's going to be 2 through 12, then we're going to have a plural verb, plural form of ser. Son las dos, right? Son las, and we can just write the numeral out, cuatro, right? However you want to write it. So basically, for 1 o'clock, we're going to use a singular verb. For 2 through 12, we'll use a plural verb, son. Okay, one different thing from Spanish to English is in Spanish, we're going to have this direct article, right? We're going to have a la or a las in front of the time. So it takes English speakers a minute to get used to that, because in English, it would just be, it is 1. Or in Spanish, it is the 1. Okay, but we don't think of it as actually saying the, but we need to have that in Spanish, okay? So if we're going to talk about a time that is not the exact hour, then we're just going to add the minutes to the time. So if we have, say, 5:15 or something, we would say son las 5:15. So if we were going to spell that out, 5:15, right? So we're just going to say and, okay? Say another time, son las 6:05, right? 6:05. So you're just going to add the time if it's anything plus. Okay, so if we're talking about something in the second half of the hour, we can say minus. So we might say son las 10 menos 5. So that would be 10 menos 5 would be 9:55, or we could say in English, it's 5 to 10, okay? There's no set rule. You could say it's 9:55, which would be son las 9. I'm not going to write it all out. 55, okay? So you can say 9:55, or as up here, it's 5 to 10, or in Spanish, you say minus. Son las 10 menos 5, okay? We also have half hours and quarter hours if we want. So if we want to say it's 6:30, well, let me just clear all this stuff out of here. Well, we can keep going. So if we want to say like it's 6:30, son las 6, and we can say y 30, or we can say y media, right? Media meaning half. So that would be 6:30, son las 6:30, or it's 6:30, son las 6:30. We also have quarters, so we could say son las 2:15, or las 2:15. Okay, so that would be it's 2:15, or it's 2:15, right? Or quarter past. So we can say cuarto or quince, and up here we can say media or 30. All right, so that's how we're going to tell time, right? And now let's look at another use of time. So the two different uses of time, either you're telling time, which isn't all that common, only if someone stops you and says, ¿Qué hora es? What time is it? Right? So that first section those were all answers to ¿Qué hora es? Right? What time is it? And you could say son las 11:08 or something like that. Right? The other use of time is when we're talking about time. And so in this case, we're going to be dealing with a qué hora. And so what we have, and then we're going to have some more information there. So a qué hora literally means at what time, right? And we use hora, which literally means hour, but that's how we talk about time. ¿Qué hora es over here? It's going to be what hour is it, but we think of it, what time is it? ¿A qué hora? At what hour or at what time? So say we're talking about a class, right? So you could say, ¿A qué hora es la clase de español? All right, so at what time is Spanish class? So here our verb isn't telling time, it's talking about time. So, ¿a qué hora es la clase de español? An answer to that would be la clase, or la clase de español. La clase es a las 11, right? So the class is at 11. And again, even if we're talking about time, we need this las, la if it's singular, that we don't use in English, okay? So also with this way of doing it, if we remember that in Spanish, the subjects are optional, right? So if we already know we're talking about the class, this sentence, we could just say es a las 11. And that would translate to it is, right, at 11. And again, you still need that las. So in Spanish, there's not a word for it that is the subject of a verb. So to say it is, we just say es. Okay, little side note, not even from telling time, that we don't have it as the subject of a verb. So if we want to say it is good, we say es bueno. It is important, es importante. Okay, this isn't connected to telling time, but this is something that you want you to realize a little difference in Spanish. We don't have a word for it that's the subject. It's built into the verb. It is. Okay. All right. So back to our second use of time. Our first use was telling time. Our second use is talking about time. All right. So we might have another sentence. We want to say, you know, the movie is at 7:15, right? La película es a las 7:15. So the movie is at 7:15, and we still need our la or our las. Okay, just a little bit of vocabulary. We don't use AM and PM when we're talking with time in Spanish. So if it's in the morning, we would say like, you know, son las 6 de la mañana. That would be for AM, right? Son las 6 de la mañana. If we want to do something in the afternoon, it would be de la tarde. So, right, we could do something like es la una de la tarde. And then in the evening or at night, we could have like son las 7. We'll have de la noche. Okay, so we have de la mañana, de la tarde, de la noche. And when it switches from afternoon to nights, more or less 6 o'clock, not a set time. Maybe after 6 would be de la noche, before de la tarde, but not really a set time there. Okay, so that's our lesson on telling time. I hope you enjoyed it. Muy bien, I hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, if you have any questions, just reach out to me at vamostutoring.com. Ciao.